Welcome, everyone, to another VSM Real Estate Podcast, Podcast 15. My co-host, or typical co-host, Daniel Kurkowski, is actually out sick, so I will be hosting this one today. And the title is going to be Full-Time Real Estate Dad with a special guest, Joe the Schwartzbauer.
How's it going?
Pretty good. He's a full-time real estate agent, dad, family man, etc. You want to tell our audience a little bit about yourself, kind of, what you do within, what you specialize in and who you work with and et cetera, and how people can get a hold of you as well.
I currently work with a company called Bricks. We're a new company. We were previously a bunch of Edina people that left there and decided to start a boutique brokerage, which is kind of the way that a lot of brokerages are going these days, such as VSM, a little smaller brokerage.
That's right.
Yeah, full-time agent, work with a lot of investors. Actually worked with VSM at one point and got a good head start in my career with investors here doing that. And you can reach me. Phone number 612-743-0274 or jdschwartzbauer@gmail.com.
And can people find you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? They can see you out and about in the field every day.
All those places.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. It's, I know it's a little bit early in the morning. This is probably the first thing to start your day, but
that's what coffee's for.
Exactly. So we wanted to have you in here because you have a unique perspective. Like we just talked a little bit before the podcast. I don't have the family dynamic that you may have, but I understand the time it takes to be successful in this business, and I know you and how successful you are. So I just wanted to kind of, tune in and get more information how you actually work the work-life balance of being a full-time real estate agent, having a newborn baby, having a wife, and how all that plays into you being successful. Because a lot of times you have to work nights and weekends. I should say probably 100% of the time. And you're always on call, phone, email. How does one who is already in real estate get to the next level, do, high volume of transactions while still having, a good balance in their life and having a family that they need to take care of?
It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. Honestly, one of the best things is my wife, that she's in real estate as well. So she understands the time it takes, how often you're on call, and how often your schedule actually changes. So having a good partner is really, really important. Probably one of the most important things, along with having a really good team that you work with, knowing that, if you can't do something, that someone on your team is going to be able to be there and pick up the slack for you.
Right. No, and I think I 100% agree that your spouse or your partner, your significant other, has to be on board 110% to make things work. Now, when you just, like I said, became, a father just recently, how did your life change, or what did you have to do within the real estate to arrange it, as far as, showing with, properties to clients?
It got flipped upside down, basically. I mean, everything that I was previously doing, having a completely open schedule, knowing that I could just go and do a showing if I needed to and not have to worry about a baby who can't be left alone at home, it completely changed things. So, having a calendar, like we use Google Calendar and we live and die by it. Like it is 100% crucial that literally we schedule everything in our lives. And that can be... It can be kind of a weird thing. Nobody wants to schedule everything that's going on. You don't want to, put on your schedule that you're going out to have dinner, but you kind of have to. Because if it's not there and we get a call and someone wants to see a property, we have to look at our schedule and understand what's there and when we can do those things. So having the schedule is really, really important.
So any specific tools as far as schedule? You mentioned Google Calendar.
Google Calendar is really great. With that, I have an add-on that is a oh boy, it's like Schedule Me, I believe it is. And it allows my clients to schedule with me as well. But just having that calendar and making sure that you use it and making sure the stuff's in there doesn't allow for someone to come in and block off a time for you.
Right. And I think I know the app that you're talking about. I use and utilize the same thing,
Nice.
which allows people to schedule with me at their convenience.
Right.
But that calendar, I believe it's like Calendly.
Yes, Calendly. There we go.
Calendly.com or something like that. What it allows you to do is sync your Google Calendar. So whatever you put in on a daily basis, it lets you kind of connect the two. So when people go to schedule, they'll see stuff that's already blocked off. So there will not be any issues. So again, using tools and, that's funny that you mentioned that because I also live and die by a calendar and having everything scheduled because, just the regular 12-hour days are just not enough, Joe. You have to do the Saturdays and the Sundays.
Right.
So I'm really glad that, you are using that. And, how have you seen your business change since you had to do this balance? Because I know before where you were, I can call you and we can check out a property, or you'll call me and you can be there in 10, 15 minutes. The fact that the urgency was the name of the game and you were there, within 10, 15 minutes anywhere we needed to be, or we needed to, look at a property. Now that that's changed, how have you seen your business being impacted, if at all? It could be positives or negatives or some, stories.
Well, our baby is all of about 3 months old right now. So we did take some time off, and we did have a good crew at our brokerage that was able to pick up some slack for us. So that was really nice. And now that I am back to work as full time as I can be, it has been difficult. I haven't been able to service some clients like I previously did, and that can be a real struggle because in real estate, people, especially buyers, are very, very transient. If you're not there one day, they're going to go onto Zillow, onto Trulia,
and get
somewhere
somebody
else and find someone else that can show them the property. So being available was, it's been a little bit tough recently.
Right. And, this is not kind of like, there's not a magic or silver bullet where you're going to just say, hey, here's the answer. This is how you do it. It's cut and dry. But, in a very competitive market as is being a real estate agent, and if you have all the time in the world, now you add more things on your plate, the family, the work-life balance, baby, etc.
Automating as much stuff as possible has been really huge. We have auto email responders. I'm actually starting to use some video for email as well. That we're really heavy into Zillow. So as soon as we get a Zillow lead, there is an automatic video that bounces back and gets sent to our leads. That just lets them know that, hey, we appreciate you reaching out to us, and we're either with a client, something like that, and we're going to get back to you as soon as possible.
And I think the customers that you want to deal with anyway, they're going to be understandable. The fact that
definitely,
if you're good, you have other people that you're dealing with, and it's not that you're trying to avoid somebody, but you're giving someone else the time where you're there, so make sure that they're appreciated. Just, a lot of times I tell...
appreciate your client while you're with them. Be present. Don't be on the phone. Don't be answering other calls.
Right.
You got to be, when you're with them, you have to be with them.
100%.
Definitely.
So tell me, have you gone to that listing or a showing where you just, like, hey, I got no other choice. I have to get the baby.
I did. I have had to
tell me about that.
I've had to bring the baby with a couple different times. Schedules just are what they are. I have not brought the baby with for a new client. These were clients that I had previously been working with. Yeah. So they knew we had a brand new baby at home. And they actually wanted to meet him as well. So it all kind of worked out, but trying not to bring the baby along.
Real estate agent in training.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The newest real estate agent, bring him in the baby Bjorn and walk him around the house,
Right. Yeah. And sometimes that's kind of what you have to do to get, things moving along and get the deal done and just be committed. And I think what's going to be really beneficial to you is that this is not going to last forever, but this is actually forcing you to go out of your comfort zone and become stronger, faster, better at your craft. So when the constraints of having a newborn ease up, or he's growing up,
I'll be that much better at
you're going to be so much better, and you're going to be so much more efficient. So in essence, it's kind of like a blessing in disguise, where it's forcing you out of your comfort zone and putting things on a schedule, making sure that you're always available.
Yep.
And, like I said, I appreciate your time and coming in here. And, it's a Monday.
Right.
And you are here not just on time, but you were early.
Yeah.
A lot of times we have people that come here, not our guests, but other ones, that people just cannot make it here on time. And they don't have the family dynamic that you have. So we're
lucky enough to have a good friend that's actually doing some nannying for us. So that's been a big help.
So get a nanny.
Yes, get a nanny.
Get some apps.
Definitely.
And have a partner that's in it with you. Becca. I know Becca. She's a real estate agent, and she owns a staging company as well. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Great work, by the way, as well.
Summit Staging, great company.
SummitStaging.com or
SummitStagingMN.com.
All right. So if you guys want some staging done, be sure to reach out. We've done some work with her as well. And
she does a great job.
Love the results.
She's out shopping for furniture for a property today, actually.
While the baby's at home
with the nanny.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's what you have to do. So you kind of touched on, as far as a lot of your customers that you already have a relationship with, they're very open about, or they're very they're okay with you, bringing a baby to a showing.
People understand
because, a lot of people have babies. Exactly. They were a baby at one point in time.
All of us were.
And how much would you say it's a good marketing strategy or tool to say, hey, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'll bring my baby. Do you mind?
Totally.
Would anyone actually say, you know what?
Nobody's going to care. Everyone's going to be like, oh, awesome, bring the baby. I mean, honestly, there's been multiple times I haven't answered my phone because I've been at home and had a baby in my arms. And we were just kind of talking about the other day, maybe it'd be a good idea. Crying baby in the background, you're working so hard. They hear your baby crying that, you're not going to miss their phone call. So could be a good thing too.
Right. I 100% agree. So basically having your schedule set, making sure that you have a nanny or somebody that can take care of, your kid if there is an issue, you have to go to an appointment ASAP or whatnot. What other things have you kind of implemented, within your guys' lives to make sure that you're on pace? Because I know, I've known you for, a number of years now, and every year your year-over-year growth has been exponential, and that's fantastic to see. And it's, continue to be that way. So you're just getting, bigger and better, and you're progressing. And of course, what are some of the key strategies that you're implementing to make sure it doesn't slow you down?
It's a lot of the calendar. It's literally, my calendar is typically like blocked off as far as, from 9 to 10 in the morning, I'm checking and returning emails. And then again, between 2 and 3 in the afternoon, I'm checking, returning emails and returning phone calls. And it's just kind of like, you need to stay on task and not go on Facebook, not go on Instagram when you shouldn't be. When you're working, you've got to work. You've got to put like those hours in and not let yourself get distracted.
Would you say that, do you have a certain day that you completely block off as time off? Or
Sunday is typically our day off unless someone really wants to see a property. But we try as much as possible to have a real family day on Sunday. It's a good relaxing day. Keep the Sabbath, all that.
So a 6-day work week.
Totally. But we're always still working on Sundays, without a doubt, because I may be at home, but I'm probably sitting on my computer at least a little bit, searching for properties, returning some emails, that type of stuff.
Right. So, okay. So it is okay to take some time off. That
Definitely.
you don't have to do 7 days a week.
It's important because you're going to get burnt out if you don't take some time off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we had I'm not sure if you listened to it, but we had a Monday motivation podcast, I believe last week, that was all about the burnout and how to avoid the burnout.
It's a real thing.
When you get overwhelmed. When do you experience it right now? And how do you, what's your strategy to get over it?
Coffee helps.
Coffee helps.
I mean, being tired.
He has a, what is that? Like a 20 gallon mug of coffee?
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. The baby's up all night and trying to get up in the morning and stay focused and doing that stuff. It can be definitely difficult.
So, think of a time, just not to put you on the spot, when you were like, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I have too many things going on. I'm experiencing burnout. And this is typically where you hit the wall. And, when you try to get, further along, you typically end up going further down because of the burnout. And you have to do something aside from coffee, of course, to get back on the horse and, get it done.
My wife, Becca, she is a huge motivator in my life and allows me to kind of do the work that I do. And she without a doubt is always kind of there to help me, to let me know that she can take care of the baby, that she can handle it, get your work done. She understands that it's important and this is our livelihood and that I need to be there doing it because you know what? If I don't, our kid's not going to go to college. Maybe not everyone's going to college these days, but it's important.
Maybe he wants to be a real estate agent. Maybe he wants to listen to Gary Vee and be a
pass
real estate
on the empire.
Exactly. That's what Hey.
Yeah. So having her there, and she really picks up a lot of the slack around the house and allows me to continue to do what I love to do. So it's excellent having her there.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, for people that don't or not are not as lucky as you are to maybe have a significant other or a partner that they can lean on, what would you say, or what could you recommend maybe? And this is something I could speak to as well, where, hey, I'm experiencing this burnout. Who do I lean to? And you mentioned, a very valuable thing, which is basically, people within your organization and the partnership you form where you can, lean on someone and say, hey, I need you to take a couple of showings, you take a couple of phone calls, take some clients out. And we encourage everybody here, at VSM to do just that. If you're having an off day, that's okay.
Yep.
Just make sure you let people know, and we'll get it covered.
Put the sign on, put the red shirt on, let people know, stay away. But yeah, that's one of the reasons actually that Bricks, the company that I work for, got started. Is they very much felt like their brokerage previously was not a team environment. It was very much a competition, and everyone holding their listings, their precious type of thing, and not sharing valuable information with each other. So that's one really big thing, that we are all a team, and we know that at any time if we can't make it to a showing or to a listing appointment, that someone else in our office is going to be there to help us. I mean, me and Becca, we took time off. Well, she was pregnant. We took myself, I took about a month and a half off. She took probably about 3 months off, and she's starting to get back to work now. But
which is mind you, our listeners, considerably less than anyone working a regular 9-to-5 corporate gig where you get especially for her.
Totally. There's no paid leave. There's no maternity leave.
Exactly.
In real estate.
So how did you kind of weather that storm? Both financially, I guess, and mentally of that every day you don't go out, you potentially don't make an income.
Right.
And for a lot of people that are thinking of getting in this business, and believe me, there are a lot.
Right.
I think that's going to be kind of the point number one.
Yeah.
That how do I do it?
Right. We had someone in our office that was willing to take up all of our showings, and we basically did a good percentage split with them, and that really helped out. Don't let anyone fool you that real estate you get to set your own schedule, because you don't set your schedule, the client sets your schedule. And
that's a good point.
People always are like, oh, you're in real estate, you get to do whatever you want, wake up when you want. True, pretty much nothing happens in real estate before 10 a.m. But from 10 a.m. till 8:39 at night, you're working. You're always on the clock.
Right, and I think people that are saying it's easy or whatnot, they're not the real estate, the average real estate. You don't want to be the average real estate agent, exactly. Right? You want to be stellar. You want to be a producer, something that's going to grow. And just want to go back to that whole team mentality and how really important and truly important that is. Where you have so many different types of brokerages out there, where most of the times people look, okay, what is my split? I want to keep most of my money, but then you don't dive deeper into the whole support factor, because you will have those life-changing moments like you have, and other people will have. So you need to make sure that that company or the broker who you choose is not only offering a good or a fair split, but also has support in place to make sure that if you're sick, if a Daniel, for example, broke his leg or foot, and he was in a cast or whatever, so other people had to come up and pick up the slack and help him out in any way possible. So that was really important to him, and that's what we try to do here. Which I'm glad that you have the same support, and that you see that value.
Team mentality is big.
100%. And that's where a lot of people look at a real estate agent and just the real estate agent. Nothing.
Right. There's so much more that goes on behind the scenes that people just never really realize.
Yeah.
About.
And it's very similar to, a corporate job where, if you are going into an office, you're typically working within a team with other, co-workers or whatnot. And, if your client only sees you, they probably only see you from beginning to end.
Right.
There's also other people that are involved in, like I said, in really good companies that have the team mentality where,
Definitely. Yeah,
you have the
transaction coordinators, they're huge. If you have one of those admins, all of that is wonderful to have people like that on your team.
Excellent. Yeah. So before we kind of wrap up, I just wanted to kind of, ask you, another question as far as where do you see kind of things, happen? Where do you see things going for you in the next 3 to 6 months? And as far as incorporating the work-life balance, what you can improve on and what you're going to be working on in the next, few months.
One of the biggest things that I know I need to work on, which my wife lets me know about regularly, is when I'm with her to turn devices off. That sometimes
that's hard. I can't do it. I'm looking at my phone right now, man. I'm sorry.
It's one of the most difficult things to do.
And I told him, I was like, hey, if you get a phone call, take it.
Yeah, totally. And it's one of the hardest things to do is to, when you are with your family, to be present. I mean, it's the same as when you're with a client. You need to be present there, and you need to have a time where you just need to shut down and be with your family. And that's
hard as it is.
It's difficult without a doubt, because you know what? That phone call might be, $1 million listing that you're passing up, and they're going to find another agent. So, but you've got to just be okay with that and know that there's other people in the pipeline.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, again, Joe, if you want to just let people know how they can get in touch with you, if they would like to, connect with you, see some properties, I do want to let you guys know that we do have a working relationship with Joe, and he has brought, a number of investment clients that use our management services. So I fully know the capabilities that he has and what he can do. So
definitely, yeah, we do a lot of stuff as far as buying, selling. We're getting into flips ourselves, and we do work with a lot of investors, a lot of duplexes, a lot of multifamilies. Dabbling into some commercial stuff right now as well. So trying to do some of that. Really doing a lot of irons in the fire right now.
I was at a duplex yesterday, Sunday, in Northeast, and it was just a duplex. It was all, I don't know, it was just not set up correctly. Right. And Emron took me, and I called Dario, and he was like, oh yeah, Joe and I checked that one out like three weeks ago. I was like, man, Joe beat me to it.
Yeah, you got to stay on top of it. Yeah, check the listings daily. That's for sure.
That's right. All right. Well, again, thanks, Joe, and giving us a little bit of insight of what your day's like, and hopefully this has made other people more eager to jump in and be committed, and maybe
for sure you can do it. It's possible. Anyone can do it. You just got to have the right mind state.
Yeah. If anything, take the tools, and implement them.
Exactly.
Especially with the apps that are available.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Use technology to your advantage.
All right. Yep. Well, hey, thanks again for stopping by. Thanks everybody for listening, and don't forget to tune in next time.